Why isn't your marketing working? You're posting content on social, it isn't driving any action. You're putting your offer out there, no one's signing up. You're sending out emails, no one's clicking through. In this video, I'm going to go over why your marketing isn't working and what you can do to fix it. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Liquid Digital Marketing Podcast. Today we are talking about why your marketing isn't working. I expect this is going to be a hot topic because I feel like everyone deals with this, including us. I don't think anyone's excluded from this group. It happens and it's something we all deal with. So why isn't your marketing working, right? So you're doing all of this stuff and maybe you're getting some actions, but you're not getting the actions that you think you should be getting or that you really should be getting, right? So when it comes, typically the problem is it comes down to creating the right content to meet where your customer is at. So we break this down into buying stages and creating content for these different stages. And you can call them whatever you want. They have different names, but we are calling them the buying cycle stages. And there are different stages. We have it broken down into 4 different stages. So we're going to talk about those because that's where it's typically the front end of where your marketing exists. Number 1 is problem recognition. Actually, you know what? Before I jump into these, I just want to explain why this is even important, right? So why do we even need to think about these different stages and where people are at? So if someone is not aware that if someone is not aware that they have a problem that you solve, they're obviously not going to buy from you. However, if someone is aware that they have a problem and are not aware of your solution or don't feel that your solution is going to fix their problem or that you're not a trusted source or they have some other options, then they're not going to buy from you, right? So, or if they are ready to buy from you, but there's too many walls or roadblocks or the content, there's something in the content that kind of is like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. So it's really understanding these different stages and having content for these stages, and also understand it's not always linear. People aren't going to have to go through stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4. It's not always that way. People might bounce around. People might just go right into the 3rd stage and 4th stage, right? So it's not always linear, but it can be and is a lot of times, and you should always have the content for each stage. All right, so let's talk about the stages. All right, we have it broken down into 4. The first one is problem recognition. The second one is info gathering. The third one is evaluating solutions. And the fourth one is the purchase phase. All right, so we're going to dive into each one of these, starting with stage 1, problem recognition. In this stage, basically, the potential customer is not aware that they have the problem, and it's your job to make them aware of this problem. So your content needs to be more problem awareness. So you are just trying to introduce yourself, bring the problem into awareness, and show how you solve that for them. So the content needs to focus on them, not about you, right? None of this is about you at this point. You're just trying to point out that, hey, here's this issue. Hey, here's a solution. Here's 3 ways that you can solve this problem. You need to hit on the pain points that people are having with this problem and the problem itself, and then do this in a way that connects with them. So like, oh yeah, this person totally understands what I'm talking about. Yeah, they get the problem. And then showing them the solution of how you can help them. So that's problem recognition, creating problem awareness content. So putting that out there, this is great to put out in the cold audience world. So out there in, organic searches, out there in TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts and places where you're going to get new eyeballs, YouTube videos, just blog posts where people would search for a problem, just social media in general, putting your content out there and having this problem awareness content, it's going to connect with them, right? That's the goal. Okay. So the next stage is info gathering. So here, the customer is going to want to start getting a better understanding of the problems and what other solutions exist. So if, I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say I have back pain, and now I need to understand, like, what is this back pain? What is causing it? What are some solutions? I'm gathering info, right? So they're going to have a lot of questions about what the problem is. So your content really wants to dive deep into the knowledge and just answering their questions and helping them with their problem, creating this educational content that answers their questions. What this is going to do is start to leverage you as a trusted advisor, especially if you're answering the questions they didn't know they had. So let's say my back pain is what I think is probably, something with a disc, but turns out it's something in my hip that's causing it, right? So I wouldn't have known that. Maybe I did some research and found out, it's probably my sciatic joint that's causing this issue. That's info gathering. That's me just out there finding information. This content shows up in social, great for videos, YouTube videos that people are searching for these answers. A lot of times we'll just go right to videos and they just want to get some visuals and they want to get some deeper knowledge. So creating YouTube videos is a great way to do that. Creating blog posts, and then actually if you can kind of combine those two together, a blog post with a video embedded that's the same topic, now you're really going to start getting good SEO in that. But the content should be about answering the questions, deep answers, deep knowledge of what the answer is to these questions. This is where people are just gathering information. Okay, the third stage is evaluating solutions. So now the person knows they have a problem, they've researched it, now they're evaluating who else can solve this problem for them. What are other solutions? So let's go back to the back pain. Let's say you are a chiropractor or a physical therapist, or you sell a product that helps with back pain, or maybe some medicine that helps with back pain. Well, guess what? You're not the only one. So they're going to be looking at all of these things, right? So you are possible competing with all of these things. You need to try to position yourself to be the right choice. So content that should highlight why you're a better choice, with testimonials, case studies, how you've helped people in the past, what makes you different, why would they want to choose you, what makes you better, what makes you unique, how can you build trust and provide that credibility. Maybe it's things that you've done in your industry or people you've worked with. So testimonials, social proof, case study, and in this also removing any buying objectives is another thing that a lot of times people forget about. Is a lot of times there's these common objections people will have with things. So maybe it's in chiropractic and people are afraid of getting adjusted, or that it doesn't work, or maybe it's it's a pill or something and they don't think that it's going to work. So you have to start shooting down these objectives or answering these objections that people are going to have. And then really honestly just showing that you are the best choice. So they're evaluating you amongst others, right? So this is the evaluation stage. And then the last stage that we're going to talk about is the purchase phase. So this is where the person is ready to make the purchase, right? They know they have the problem, they've looked into it, they've learned more about it, they've researched their options, now they're ready to buy, they're ready to make a move. And maybe it's to sign up for your services, maybe it's a free strategy call, maybe it's to buy your product, whatever it is, they're ready to take that action. So this stage it seems like it's the obvious stage and easy, right? What do you need to do in this stage? They're ready to buy, but this is where most people fail. So the thing is you need to have a clearly stated call to action. So people need to clearly understand what step to take next. And you want to make it as easy as possible. So if someone needs to book a call with you, don't have some big, long, lengthy form. Make it as easy as possible to book with you or to have a consultation. If someone's going to buy something online, make sure that the checkout process is super easy as possible. Make it clear on what action you want them to take and what to do. And then once they do it, make sure they know what's going to happen next. Because once someone buys something or signs up for something or does something, it's usually right then where they have the biggest objections, the buyer's remorse, like, oh, what did I just do? Did I make the right decision, right? It's just natural, right? We made this decision, we executed it, and then we all of a sudden have this like, oh, God, I hope that was the right decision. So give them a win, give them some quick feedback, something that is going to give them like, okay, yep, I made the right choice. So there you go. That is dialing this in is going to definitely help with your marketing, right? It's going to help you get that messaging right, help you start creating content where people want to see, people need to see in order to move forward with you. And a lot of times, we have content, but it's all kind of in this one area. Maybe it's all in the, problem. We're just talking about the problems, but we're never, giving the credibility of what we do and showing that we're the right solution. So we're educating people for them to go to our competitors. Or maybe we're missing it all. We're doing all this work, but no one knows that they even have the problem that we're solving for. So we're missing that problem recognition, right? So it's really going back into these different stages and making sure that you're creating content on a continual basis around these different stages. All right. So if you have any questions on this, please let me know. We're here to help, and we would love to have a review. If you are listening to this podcast, we'd love for a review from you as a dedicated listener. We're here dedicating our time to you and giving you as much as we can, and we would love for a review. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. We are coming out with weekly videos and more, so subscribe to get notifications for our next one. And then also, I'd like to invite you to our private Facebook group where it's full of motivated business owners just like you. I'll leave a link to it in the show notes. It's filled with business owners that are looking to grow their business. I go in there and I give lives that are deeper dive of these podcasts, additional trainings, and other things related to marketing, web design, lead gen, business growth, whatever. We're in there connecting one-on-one. It's a place for us to connect outside of these podcasts. So I would love to see you there. And until next time, have a great day.